pranking in Minecraft is basically its own culture. It has its own subgenre inside of Minecraft. So let's take a look at some very, very simple TNT pranks that you can pull on your friends. So here we are inside of Minecraft, and I have a few pranks set up for us to check out. And the possibilities for this specific prank are basically endless. So I'm going to show you 6 different ways to easily make this so you can follow along. But really, you can take this prank to anywhere that you want to take it. So first, we have a chest. Looks pretty unsuspicious enough. Obviously, it's a trap chest, but if I open it, I'll probably hear like the TNT like countdown and be able to run away just in time. So let's open. Oh my gosh. Holy moly. Well, that one didn't kill me. So maybe I'll just check out this book here. It says hi. Oh, that's nice. Are you? Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. Well, that's terrifying. Okay. Well, if I just walk this way and unsuspectingly, holy moly, what on earth? Everything just keeps exploding all around me. This is not nearly as fun as I was expecting. I bet that this doorway, completely not suspicious at all. Just to go ahead and take a little jaunt through. Oh my Lanta. Holy moly. Okay, well, that was also not very safe. I'm starting to feel like there is a, oh my gosh, diamonds. Well, first, let me just give myself just a, if I could spell diamond, a diamond pick. I feel like that would be the best situation to pick up this diamond here. Oh, yes, don't mind if I do. Oh, my Lanta. Holy moly. Well, this is no fun at all. No matter what I do, I can't catch a break. Let's just open up this door right. Oh, gosh darn it. Okay, well, I think you guys get the point. So in this sort of prank series, I guess, or this build, this is a way to make instantly exploding TNT, which is really, really nice. I am on peaceful mode, so I haven't died to the TNT once. Normally, you'd be playing on like hard or normal mode, and you'd probably die to this TNT, and we have a few ways to make this a little bit more powerful as well. So the cool part about this build is that it instantly explodes. The TNT has no time to count down, and it will instantly blow up in your face, causing havoc and mayhem. And you can always punch this up with even more TNT. So having instantly exploding TNT is a really, really cool feature whenever you're talking about pranks, so that you don't set it off normally. If we're talking like a normal prank, okay, normally you'd do something like that. Oh, actually, I went a little too far. Here we go. There we go. Bam, bam, bam. You walk over. You can hear it, and you have plenty of time to run away before it finally explodes, causing mayhem. In my prank, it immediately explodes every single time. So in order to pull this off for yourself, you are going to need 1 piece of powered rail and at least, I would say, 3 minecarts with TNT inside of them. You could pull this off with less, and then also you could fill the area with TNT around where this is going to explode to cause even more mayhem, but at least 3 is a good idea, in my opinion. So here is how this build works, is basically you have all sorts of different ways to set off the redstone, but it all will activate the TNT immediately. Whenever you put down a powered rail, it'll be facing in a direction. There's 2 possible, directions. It'll go north, south, or east and west. And new to Minecraft 1.15, depending on which way you place it is the way that it will be placed down, unless it connects just like that. So you can place these in any direction, which is quite nice. If you take that powered rail, and we have to break some extra blocks to be able to reach the edge of this, and you load it full of TNT. So you can kind of actually see the hitbox show up with the powered rail. And as we load it with more TNT, the shadow gets darker. So we're going to load that up with TNT. And before we cover this up, we're going to make sure that out of the 2 directions that it was facing, and remember this one was facing this direction, that there is one of the directions that has an air block, okay? So that these minecarts if that rail was powered, they would try to move in a direction. And for some reason, Minecraft, if they notice two TNT minecarts colliding with one another, they'll explode. And since we've pre-loaded this powered rail with 4 TNT minecarts, they're going to immediately explode once that powered rail gets powered. So now we can use whatever method we want in order to power that rail. Right here, I'm just going to use this lever. So the moment we power it, it will instantly explode, causing mayhem. So all of these different techniques that I showed used that same powered rail setup in order to pull off the instantly exploding TNT. And we'll go through how to build them each yourself one by one so that you could just copy this video and put it into your world. Starting off with the trapped chest method. If this is going to be our trapped chest, I'm going to build down 2 right next to it and 2 in front of it, and then 1 over here off to this side. We're going to jump into this hole. We're going to make sure to put our powered rail facing that direction, and then we're going to load up the TNT. That is the air gap that we're going to keep, so we can put a block there and then go up on top, and it is all set to go. Once they open this chest, it will immediately explode. Next, moving on to the lectern, we're going to want to have some type of wall to hide our redstone. The lectern is going to go down onto the ground, and right behind it, I can punch out a temporary block so we just know where it is. We can put our comparator, and then we can place that block back. The lectern works by detecting how far you've gone inside of a book. So I can just name these pages something like 5. If I want them to have to go all the way over to the 5th page, if I wanted like some type of message, that sort of thing, and it will stay on that page. So here we are set to 5 and we are done. On the other side, then you can start to sort of time out your redstone on however long you want, because this will eventually end here, and that would be like how long this eventually, golly, 5 is a lot, so we may not even want to do 5 pages. But you can see that this will only go a certain number of blocks, so you could count that number of blocks until you get to where your actual build will be. So what we're going to be doing is underneath the lectern is we're going to be placing our rail as well. So right here, let's go ahead and put the rail. We're going to put our TNT on top of there, and then we can block all of that up. And now we know that that is where the redstone will eventually go. I'm going to break this so that it doesn't go that far. But if we wanted to count it out, we could. This will only blow up if we set it up in the way that I have it right now with this small redstone line. If it's on page 1, it'll go, I guess, just to right there. And then on page 2, it will explode. So right here, if we go to page 2, bam, it explodes. So that is one way that you could pull it off. Or you could actually do all the counting and get your blocks, so if you want to have it blow up on page 5 or whatever. Next is the simplest method, which is the pressure plate on the ground. And all you have to do, dig down a few. You actually don't even have to dig down over here if you don't want. You could just basically put down here, I'll put this all back, is you can put down the pressure plate, dig 2 in front, and then right there. This is really the absolute simplest. Make sure that your rail is going to go into that air gap, and then load it up with some mine carts, and then you're done. And if they walk on top of that, boom, it will immediately explode. Next, we showed a build that used tripwire hooks. And so for that build, we had a little bit of an entrance to hide the tripwire hooks. You need at least 3 spots on the ground for your tripwires, because you have 2 tripwire hooks and 1 piece of string to activate it. And then we have these columns in the way so you don't accidentally see those tripwire hooks. And string is really hard to tell, especially with this stone. It's almost impossible unless you happen to glance or happen to see that hitbox, and then you will activate that tripwire hook. So in order to pull this one off, I am using a little bit of extra redstone just to continue that trail all the way down. So we're going to put a redstone dot right there. And then over here is where we are going to put our powered rail onto the back of that block, facing into a air gap, and then the carts go on top of there. And so you can see that shadow we're loading up. Once again, you step on it, it will immediately explode. The next method is the diamond ore method. And so you see some diamond ore, and this uses an observer to observe any block state change. So you need to make sure that the observer is actually observing that block. It's just like a piston where it'll sort of place in the direction that you're facing. So make sure that it's facing in that direction. If you really want to make sure wherever that little red dot on the back of the observer is, that is where the redstone signal will eventually come out. So we're going to have the redstone signal go into that block, and we're going to have this to be our powered rail area. So put that air gap down. You guys are probably used to this by now. Whoops. We don't want to use diamond to cover up our little hole here. And now whenever this block is updated, boom, it will immediately explode. The next design uses the same sort of observing technique, but this time it is going to observe a door opening. And I have this set up so that it will basically hide the observer once the door opens, in case you have it set up and it doesn't go off or whatever, you do everything wrong. This way the door will open and it will hide the observer right there, which is kind of nice, from the person getting pranked. This observer is going to output into a block, and then I'm going to have that go into a dot of redstone right here, and then that dot of redstone is going to power the rail off of that. So you can see it goes down a little bit. That way we'll have a solid block wherever that door is. Then we're going to put on our TNT, and we are going to fill this all up. And that way, if this door ever gets updated, even closed, opened or closed, the redstone will fire off and explode the TNT. Now, I did mention that these could be a little bit more lethal than what we showed off at the beginning of the video. So in order to do that, you're just going to want to add a little bit more TNT. And so in this, we're going to use that pressure plate design, that simplest design that we really had. We're going to load up our TNT cart, but on either side, we're just going to add just some extra TNT. And in this method, you do need to make sure that there's a solid block, a very solid block behind the rail over there. So now we can hide all of that. We can switch into survival. I've also changed the difficulty to normal. And if we step on top of this, it will immediately blow us up with that extra TNT. I hope that you enjoy this amazing exploding technique. Do it on all your friends. Have an amazing time. And I hope that I hope they're still friends with you after you pull all these TNT pranks off. Because when you die to TNT, all your stuff is gone. It's gone forever. It's the worst type of prank. I'm just saying. Thanks so much for watching this episode of OMG Craft. If you enjoyed it, please give this video a big ol' thumbs up. Also, make sure you subscribe for future videos, tips, tricks, tutorials, and spotlights here on OMG Craft. And I'll see you next time. Bye.